Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. And it's time for the rocket to take centre stage. As usual, raking off left-handed. Although he didn't make a good job of that, flicking the blue as he did. But it's always a test, Dominic, for any player playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, because I don't know, maybe you feel you've just got to play your best ever snooker to get a result.
Yes, good afternoon, John. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a test playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, because it's not very often that he puts in a bad performance, so you have to expect that you're going to have to play well if you're going to beat him. Safety play these days is absolutely outstandingly good, difficult to get a good chance against, and if you do, you need to score, because if you don't, he will.
Yeah, just giving this a little bit of thought. You can't get through to the red that's closest to the right corner. This is a tough pot. It's a tough shot to take on. So first chance to Sanderson Lamb, who, I must be honest, I've never seen play before, but he'll have a good pedigree playing at the Northern Snooker Centre in Leeds. Hotbed of snooker.
As you can see, the reds are spread beautifully, but black's tied up, and the pink probably doesn't pop in many pockets, maybe the right centre, left corner. I think when Sanderson Lamb pots the pink, when it's respotted, it will be tied up, so he'll try and develop the black spot area as quickly as he can, I feel, and maybe try and move some of those reds away from the pink spot, because with the blue as well towards bolt break building here, it's going to be difficult.
Seven. Eight.
We caught with that shot, okay. A little bit quick with it, but it went in. I mean, what would be a nice shot is to play the blue and try and get the blue back on its spot. But of course, he's still got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. He needs to cue this smoothly. Just about on this red, near the right corner. Now somehow he's got to get that cue ball on a colour. It's not straightforward, a little bit of work to do with this cue ball.
Yes, there's just a little gap in the reds to the right of the pink there. If you can just find that, he may be able to get back up the table for the blue.
Oh,
just a touch too much check side on the cue ball there, cannoned into reds, but well, he does have a straightish long blue into the yellow pocket and a thin pink into the left centre. This is tough.
Well, brave shot. Obviously he's come out, we know what his intentions are. Nearly knocked the red to the corner as we were looking at the pink, dropping in the middle. Just got into that a little bit too much. I think he can still pot the pink, but Should have been a little bit straighter on it than this.
Yeah, if it goes into the yellow pocket, it's probably easier into the yellow pocket than it is the left centre, really. But it's a tough one again. Well played. This is a good start from Sanderson Lamb. Potted a few balls already in this
27.
break that should give him a lot of confidence. As you can see, he's
28.
managed to move some of the reds away from the pink spots, so the pink's in the clear at the moment, which is useful to him.
What would you say? This is a very good start. No sign of nerves
34.
at the moment. Taking these very well.
35.
Grimace there. Looks like he's a little bit straighter on the pink, but he could play for the red, but we look immediately to the right of the pink for the right middle. Don't have to do much with the cue ball.
$41.
Just the start any player's looking for. Get your hand on the table, get your cue arm going. Oh, well,
Sanderson
so
Lamb.
close, but
41.
just caught him out. And it has to be said that these little pockets are very nippy. With a little less pace, it may well have dropped, but just caught the near bump. Well, poor break-off shot initially, and the type of red you expect him to knock in. So just not settled just yet.
1.
So Sanderson gets another chance.
Six.
I'm sure Sanderson coming into this match this afternoon will be very well aware that Ronnie suffered that first round exit at the World Grand Prix at the hands of Marco Fu. So he'll know that Ronnie will be keen to do well here, and he'll be under a little bit of pressure.
7.
But these races to 4 are over in a flash, so you always need a good start in them.
Yeah, and also, as we were saying at the start of the match, I suppose the
13.
pressure's off you a little bit when you're playing Ronnie, because you know only your best is going to be good enough. So, you know you can't fall over the line, so to speak. This is tricky, though. Yes, but nicely played.
40.
So I guess pink to go 61 points in front with just 75 remaining. So after this pink, another red and a colour. Don't take this for granted, though. But right in the heart of the pocket. Has he found a gap? I think he's okay. Just another red and a colour, and he'll have the first frame
20.
under his belt. What a start.
$21.
Well, we always say at this game, no matter how good you are, when you sign that seat, there's nothing you can
27.
do about it. Ronnie needs a snooker now, and very shortly he'll need a couple of snookers.
28.
And unless he was to decide to come back and get a bit of table time, Ronnie won't be getting out of his seat again in this frame. Perfect start for Sanderson.
Sanderson Lamb, 28, and the first frame.
And he concedes, so Ronnie O'Sullivan never scored a point in that first frame. Perfect start for Sanderson Lamb. He leads 1-0.
Yeah, Ronnie rooted to the spot then. What a great start by Sanderson Lamb. I guess the perfect start, the start that you dream of when you're playing someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, and you'd have to say, how hasn't Sanderson Lamb done better, you know, over the last 12 months playing like that? You know, that was a great start.
That's the question, isn't it? Because you do wonder how players like him on the circuit at the bottom of the food chain, and there are a lot like them, manage to keep going. How they survive, you know?
Well, I don't know, but, you know, he's come out there positively there, and he's said from the word go, right, I'm going for my shots. I mean, that pink that he played about third shot into the break, third or fourth shot, into the middle, you know, he pot that maybe 2 or 3 in 10, but he went for it, knowing if he missed it, he was leaving a clear table for Ronnie. But I don't know, as Ronnie walked out, you know, I'm sitting in my chair, you know, looking, but as he walked out, he doesn't look right this afternoon. And I'm not saying that because he's gone 1-0 down. He might play the best 4 frames now that he's ever played, but he just doesn't look quite right to me.
Yeah, you said it as soon as he came out, and John mentioned it in commentary there, that the break-off was a little awkward, and then there was that misread as well.
Yeah, it just looks a bit, as he walked out, he just looked a little bit agitated, and then he's played, like the break-off wasn't great, and then he went for a long red, which he didn't think about playing safe, just bang, went for it. Just doesn't look quite right for me at the moment.
As for Sanderson Lamb, I mean, we've seen it before, these outsiders going in front against the big hitters, and, you know, they've been crushed in the end, but his confidence has gone from this to this.
It has for that first frame, but obviously, you know, if he gets to 3 frames and he got a chance of winning the match, this would be a massive scalp for him. Pressure then comes back on him, and it's a completely different scenario for him then.
Let's just quickly go to table 2, because we're keeping an eye on this Dwayne Jones match, another Welshman, of course, hoping to make his way into round 2 and what will be a very big tie against Judd Trump, one of the favourites for the tournament. And indeed, he is through, Darren. Great news for him.
That's a fantastic result. It's a fantastic result for Wales as well. But for Dwayne, he's a lovely young lad. You know, he works very hard at his game, and finally it's starting to pay off, and he's getting the rewards he deserves.
4-3 victory for Dwayne Jones. Plays Judd Trump in round 2. Let's rejoin this one then. Intriguing stuff. It's Sanderson Lamb to break. 1-0 up.
Yes, thank you, Ian. Sanderson Lamb breaks off at frame 2. Very happy with his work in the first frame, I'm sure. But still needs another 3 frames to defeat what would be for him the biggest ever victory in the sport, in the shape of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Hasn't really had a decent opportunity yet, Ronnie, but I'm sure he's going to get some sometime.
Yeah, you saw a little puff of the cheeks there from Ronnie, a little bit lucky not to leave the red that he played. He thought that was the only red he could leave, and it came back to the balk end. But you wouldn't be tempted to play this, just for safety. Well, I thought it was just a safety, but it went in.
Yellow ball.
Now, can he trickle up tight behind the yellow? Difficult shots, these. Oh, couldn't have played it better. Excellent shot.
Sanderson Lamb. 1.
So he's looking settled, and his nerves looking good shape as we see this fluke on the red.
That was beautifully played from Ronnie. Managed to find that back of the pack of the reds exactly the way he wanted to. Can't see any way really that Sanderson Lamb can return the cue ball to bulk here.
Yeah, well, that'll suit Ronnie in many ways. He could have just trickled up to and frustrated Ronnie a little bit. Now it's back to a normal open game. Ronnie looks to be taking, well, he wasn't taking the red on. And that's what he's got to do. I don't care how good you are. You've got to play your way into a match. Don't just hand easy opportunities to your opponent. So he's up for it. Make no mistake.
Well, that safety shot from Ronnie has created his first opportunity of the match, his first good one anyway. These are the positions that he's so deadly from.
One.
Already the reds are in open play. He'll try and remove that red away from the black spot as soon as possible. Perfect player to copy in terms of break building, Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think he was a little bit surprised there, the speed of the cue ball. As it rebounded off this top cushion, he thought it would just move a bit further up the table to leave this red straighter.
9.
Yeah, I mean, the way you can force an angle now on these super fine cloths, but sometimes they do just trap slightly under that top cushion. And you think you've hit them plenty hard enough. That's what happened to Ronnie. But remember, this is his first visit, so he's got to get used to the table and the pace.
15. Yes, it's only day 2 of the Welsh Open at the Motorpoint Arena in Cardiff, and as the days progress, normally the cushions speed up a little.
20. 21.
That time he give it a little bit extra, but he's
28.
okay. Just nudge a couple of reds out. He's going to make certain he stays on the black.
29.
She's done nicely. I do quite a lot of shows with Ronnie, and it's amazing his break building technique. He doesn't like to go into them too often, because then
36.
you trust into luck, and with all that skill and ability, why would you want to trust to luck? So he's always looking to try and
37.
find a red that he can pot, nudge a couple more out, you know. A bit like in the old days of Ray Reardon.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, John. I know in the sort of 70s and 80s, players just used to nudge the sort of the apex of the pack, or the base of the pack, the corners of the pack, just to move 3 or 4 reds into play. That was the old way of break
45.
building. But players these days, they seem to know the way the reds are going to split when you go into them. Especially Ronnie O'Sullivan, players like Stephen Hendry.
Always misjudged this. And he knew as soon as he hit it, he didn't
52.
get into it enough, so that's end of break.
That's the thing about
Ronnie
Ronnie, isn't it,
O'Sullivan,
John? I mean, that
52.
break took less than 3 minutes, and all of a sudden he's got a lead of 52 points.
Yep. Just quick fire stuff. Another poor safety shot that from Sanderson. His last one, he caught the bump in the middle pocket. Hit that one too much too thin.
One.
So after this blue, 2 more reds required. So he's got to go in and out of balk. Avoid the balk colours. he's not going to nestle on this red, is he, and be on nothing? No, he's okay. It just stopped short.
6.
It was nearly on the red.
7.
So that puts him 60 points in front, but when he pots this red, there'll only be 59 remaining. So this leaves Sanderson needing snookers.
10.
And all it took really was a couple of poor position, safety shots, and Ronnie cueing beautifully now.
Yes, with that black, as you can see in our graphics, 68
17.
points ahead, just 59 remaining, so we're in
18.
numerous snookers. That will be one frame all.
$23.
Well, the double doesn't go in, but I'm sure
Sullivan, 23.
Sanderson
And
Lamb will remain in his chair. He does do, so rates of 23 and 52 in that second frame, and Ronnie O'Sullivan levels the match up at one frame all.
Yeah, I think that's what we call normal service resumed there by Ronnie O'Sullivan. Looked agitated, you thought, at the start, but settling into it, maybe now.
Well, he obviously 2 visits there, as John said in commentary. In no time, 3 minutes, he was 52 points ahead. But, you know, Sanderson Lamb played 2 poor safety shots, really, that allowed Ronnie to get the 2 easy starters. I mean, the first chance he had, he'd have been livid with himself. He played a real poor positional shot, Ronnie. You know, when he was 50 up, he put the cue ball on a red, and it could have all gone so wrong for him. But Sanderson then played another poor safety, which allowed him to pinch the frame.
He likes to fiddle, doesn't he, Ronnie? We're just looking at a monitor here, and he's fiddling with his watch, and he fiddles with his nails and all sorts of things, just to sort of, I suppose, you know, take the attention away, just take the pressure off, I suppose. He doesn't think about things too much, does he?
No, you know, like I said, he's a bit of a complex character, and most geniuses are, and you would have to call him a genius on a snooker table without a shadow of a doubt. But I don't know, I'm sticking to my guns. Immaterial of how he plays. For some reasons, he walked in, didn't look like the Ronnie that we used to see, and he did look a little bit agitated. It might be that, you know, he's had a busy time and he's a little bit tired, a bit jaded or something, but he definitely, to me, doesn't look like he's switched on at the minute.
His stats, though, are nonetheless outstanding, aren't they? I mean, he could feasibly this week get up to 1,000 centuries. I mean, he's way ahead of Stephen Hendry, you know, 200 more centuries than him. He's at the top of the list. He could well become the first player to make 1,000 centuries this week. 9 away.
He could, and, you know, anybody that's 9 in a tournament have played unbelievably well. That doesn't happen very often. It has happened, obviously, but it doesn't happen very often. So I don't think we'll see his 1,000th century this week at this Welsh Open. As much as I'd like to see that,
particularly.
Yes, I know, but you know, it could happen. You could never say no, especially with him. He could rattle 3 or 4 off on a trot, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's a fantastic stat to have, and no doubt, if it's not done this tournament, next couple of tournaments, he'll definitely get the 1,000 this year.
Just a matter of time. But anyway, he's levelled things up here, so let's go back in with Dominic and John.
So it's Ronnie who breaks off again this time, and exactly the same as the first one, although this one was worse because he hit the blue full in the face. Now that's very unlike Ronnie. Now let's see why. He's catching that end red much too thin. He won't be happy with that. I remember the days when he wasn't happy with something, it could affect his game completely. That doesn't seem to happen so much these days.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what type of safety shot Ronnie was trying to achieve there. It seemed almost impossible to avoid cannons on reds. can only assume he tried to just miss the jaws of this right-hand black pocket with the cue ball on the other side. And just about miss a cannon on the red to get the cue ball into bulk, but the margin of error for that shot. Have a look at this. Oh, I just can't quite see the path back to bulk there, John.
No, I agree. And judging on that shot and the break-off shot, it seems that he's just having a little bit of a problem with his timing, particularly when he's playing with a touch aside. Break-off shot, he hit too thin, that one he hit too thick. Not the easiest chance this though for Sanderson, although if he can get to that red that's just to the left of the pink, he might just open the pink for a few pockets. Looks like he can. Yeah, I think he could probably roll it through and just flick the second red and leave the pink to the right middle. Well, it goes to the right corner, which from our commentary position didn't look possible, so made it a lot easier for position.
No, absolutely, John. It certainly doesn't look as though it goes into this right corner, but it obviously doesn't. There you can see. That makes things easier for Sanderson, but the problem is, does the pink ball really spot? I think it does. Now will it go into the left corner? It certainly goes into right centre at least.
Yes, it does go into the opposite corner. He's playing this red. And he's played it absolutely inch perfect. Just drop this in, cannon the red that's just the right of the pink, all for the red in the same pocket. Oh, he didn't play that as he would like. Was a little bit careless. I think he's still, I think this red 2 up from the black will still go, but this isn't the red he played for.
Yeah, Sanderson will be aware that he really shouldn't have made that mistake, and now position to a colour is, well, guesswork really. Played it the right way to give himself the best chance. Deep screw and reverse side on the cue ball to advance the cue ball up the table to a bulk colour, but he's been very unfortunate there, it appears. Just a safety shot, I feel now.
Sanderson Lamb, 90.
Superb safety there from Ronnie. Absolutely perfect. That could so easily have gone wrong, but he missed the double kiss. But the judgment of pace to find the baulk cushion. Impeccable.
There's a penny for Ronnie's thoughts there. He seems deep in thought about something. I don't quite know what. .991 career centuries in the queue of Ronnie O'Sullivan as a professional player. So you'd think that if he were to go deep into these events here at the Welsh Open, definitely possibilities that he could reach that magical milestone of 1,000 centuries.
That's a better safety shot from Sanderson. Okay, if you're being picky, say a few inches short of perfect, but that was better than the 2 he played in the previous frame. Ronnie caught that much too thick. Kiss on the second red. Where's the cue ball going?
Foul.
Could say he was a little unlucky, but having said that, it could have gone a lot worse. The safety shot well, he hit it much too full, and it was a flick on the second red that sent the cue ball towards the corner.
One.
Well, how confidently did Sanderson Lamb knock that one in? Incredible, he played for the pink. He must have been so confident in knocking that in, because it was a dangerous shot the way he played it.
One.
I think he should bother with the black just yet, Sanderson Lamb, because the red spot's occupying its spot. So it would go up on the blue spot, and that won't help things.
8.
Yeah, as Dominic said, there's the black spot covered by the red, so he may be able to play for that red on this occasion. Maybe a little bit straighter than he would have liked. And with those 3 reds near the top cushion, he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball here. As I say, on these super fine cloths, you can make angles from nowhere.
15.
Decided to play the pink in the middle, which a little bit of pressure on this, but the way he's knocking in some of the balls, he doesn't seem to be feeling it at the moment. Until now.
Sanderson Lamb. 15.
But it could be worse. At least he's tied the pink and black up, and he's got a 38-point lead.
1.
Yes, the position of the reds here for Ronnie is certainly not favourable. Lots of work to do here, but there's no one better in this sort of position than he.
4. 5.
'Amazing just how nonchalantly he knocked that black in.
12. 13.
Well, he caught the red too thin. I don't know how the red dropped. That's why he's not on the black. Pink to the far corner. Another one that's there. But it's hard work, this.
19.
Having to pull out these good pots. And at that pace, into these middle pockets, those
Ronnie
are tough.
O'Sullivan. 19.
He chose to screw back for the black there to try and open the reds up a little below the black spot. It would have been easier to hold for the pink. Where's this red going? Oh, would you believe it? Another fluke.
1.
Same pocket. Must have his name on it. The Sanderson Lamb pocket. Off the green. You couldn't have dreamt of that. And another very confident pot. And finished, well, I wouldn't say perfect, because he's a little bit too straight on this red, but he's on it.
Yeah, He's going to need one of the two difficult reds together there on the top cushion to win the frame at this visit. Oh, but not that time. Just the pace kept it out.
Sanderson Lamb, 5.
Well, that was the wrong shot. He shouldn't have played that. He should have played safe. So treat your opponent with a bit of respect. You can't go for every shot. And all he's done, Ronnie, and remember he's 24 points behind, he's not the black safe, which is not to his advantage. Does his red cut? No. Just a safety. Not a bad shot.
One.
Well, that's an amazing red from Ronnie O'Sullivan, but again, surely not the right shot to play. Left a simple red for Sanderson Lamb had he have missed it, and that was a very low percentage pot, but, well, got to give him credit because he knocked it in.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
Yeah, but he didn't knock that one in, and he's knocked the yellow now. Is the yellow going to come to his rescue here? No, it's not. So 23 points the lead. It's hard to, well, I don't see him getting a high value colour off this red. Oh, well, don't miss it. I know he was trying to get the cue ball out, but don't take your eye off the pot, son. Well, once again, I have to agree with what Dominic said on his last pot. Not the shot to play. It's almost like it's an exhibition.
Yeah,
7.
it seems to be exactly that, John. It's almost as though he's not playing a match there. He's just, I don't know, he's just being Ronnie, really. It's a bit of a practice session and an experimentation, experimentation rather. Is he going to take the brown on? Well, you can't keep knocking these great pots in all the time. 2 or 3, yes, but you know, really is pushing the boat out, Ronnie, at the moment.
8.
Yeah, and also that will give your opponent a bit more confidence because you feel as though you don't have to be playing that well. Just be patient. The chances are going to come. That's a good pot. And bringing the black away from the cushion. The choice here of, well, the brown's a little bit tricky. Cut back. Can he hold for the yellow if he plays it into the left middle? If he pots the brown, he'll just need yellow and green to leave Ronnie needing the snooker. Wonderfully played.
5.
Well, for me, borrow your expression, John, gravity just took over there, didn't it? And its last roll just
7.
dropped.
sell this green for a 2-1 lead. Nicely played. Yeah, Ronnie played a few shots here that are not in the match book, so to speak. They're more for exhibition play. And he's paid the price.
90.
And in these short run best of 7 matches, when it's first to 4, it's a risky option to take. And Sanderson Lamb has now got 2 frames on the scoreboard and needing 2 more for a famous victory. He leads Ronnie O'Sullivan 2 frames to 1.
Well, what a match and what a story unfolding here on table 1. We're gonna lift the bonnet up and have a good look at the engine here at Ronnie's game, Darren, in a few moments, if we can bring you some examples. But you said from the start you didn't think that Ronnie was quite on it today. Something wasn't right, and some of the shot selections you think are curious, to say the least.
Yeah, well, obviously, I thought he was a little bit agitated when he came in to start the matches. He just walked into the arena. I thought, oh, this don't look right. But some of the shots he played there, and don't get me wrong, he potted a lot of the balls he went for. So when I'm saying some of the shots he played, they actually went in. But he wouldn't normally play them shots. You know, there was a black, I think he played, and there was a pink he played at the yellow pocket.
Well, it was the long pink, wasn't it, that he got in, but then he missed the red after that.
Yeah, well, the red in the middle was difficult. You know, here's the pink. You know, just before he potted this pink, he potted a better black than this. He didn't have to do a lot with the white, but he just got down and hit it. Then the very next shot there, he plays the red in the middle. I mean, it's an hard shot, and he's played it at quite some force to drag back for the black and missed. And then a couple of shots later, he played a plant that was a double that was never on. John Virgo said in comment that, you know, that was never the right shot. And then a couple of shots later, he played a plant across the back cushion. He would never play in a fit. And then a couple of shots again, he played for a red in the yellow pocket, missed it thin, and potted the yellow in the green pocket. It's as if he's playing, and without being disrespectful, thinking there's no way I can lose to the fella I'm playing here, so I'm just going to go for all my shots. Like they said, it's an exhibition. Yeah. Whereas he wouldn't play them kind of shots against the likes of Trump or, you know, Shaw Murphy or Mark Selby, people of that calibre.
If you are Sanderson Lamb, then are you thinking this is a bit disrespectful, or are you thinking, well, this is good, this is brilliant, keep doing this because I keep getting opportunities? Well,
if I'd been sat in the chair, it would be winding me up to think that he's treated me with contempt, and he would try and inspire me to play that much better. And Sanderson Lamb is giving the right response by potting the balls in and getting left. The other side of me would be saying I want him to continue to play like that, because there's no way anybody in this world can pot balls like he's trying to do all day long, every day.
So he's 2-1 up as he breaks off in frame 4. The question, Dom and John, can Ronnie keep on playing like this?
Well, he's 2-1 behind, so I think the answer to that question, Ian, is no. He can't keep playing like this. Not if he's going to win the match, at least. He's going to have to commit to proper match snooker here, because Sanderson Lamb, well, he's seen the way Ronnie's been playing and the shots he's been taking on, so I think Sanderson Lamb's going to make it as difficult as he can now for Ronnie O'Sullivan. And how often do you see Ronnie's pot success at just 79%? But I have to commend Sanderson Lamb, 92% for anybody is very good. But he has missed that red and left Ronnie in here.
Yeah, and I think the main reason that Ronnie's pot percentage is that low is because he's gone for so many.
1.
Now a chance to play for this red that's just below the black. And that would, in effect, get the black into play.
6.
He's landed absolutely inch perfect.
7. 14.
Just misjudged the cannon there. If the black's tight to the cushion, then it'll make it a lot easier. Don't want to play it with too much pace, though. Yeah, played it nicely.
So, 22.
I think the referee, Brendan Moore, there
23.
bumped into Ronnie, didn't he, as he was trying to get his cue out. Not seen that too often. Love to show it here again. I heard Brendan say sorry. Here we go.
26.
Oop. You don't see that very often, do you?
No, Ronnie was in position
27.
to play the shot, and Brendan had to reach round the pocket to retrieve the black, didn't he? And he sort of got in one another's way.
Back to the old barge gate. We had a bit of that at the
34.
Crucible last year. Never seen it happen with referees.
35.
Yeah, that was Ali Carton, Ronnie, that time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And now here's a chance for Ronnie in potting this just to bring a
42.
few reds into play. He's usually very good at this shot. Well, he didn't play that as I would have
43.
expected, but he put a lot left-hand side on the cue ball, and look at the way the cue ball checked. And absolutely inch perfect. And really getting a move on here. And that puts the referee
51.
under a bit of pressure. Brendan Moore's already had one bump in with him, so he'll be wanting to get these balls on the spot quick, because Ronnie's in no mood to hang about, it appears.
58. 59. 66. 67.
Well, break goes to 67 in about 3 minutes 20 seconds. Reminds me of that 147 that he made many years ago. I think it was in 1994.
72.
Was it 97? I always get mixed up between those two dates.
73.
Against Mick Price, wasn't it? 5 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah, I commentated on it with Dennis Taylor, and I think Peter O'Sullivan had done a better job. It was incredible. But the only thing I always remember about that, I spoke to Ronnie after, and he said he didn't know how he potted the brown because he was shaking like a leaf.
8.
It's amazing, but you wouldn't have known looking at him. Just drops.
81.
This is how quickly a frame can slip away, of course, when you're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan. You wouldn't bet against a century now.
87. 88. 94. 95.
Pink then for career century number 992. Well, is that a foul? It's a foul because referee Brendan Moore
95.
hadn't spotted the
Spanish
pink.
Atlantic, yep.
And
Frame conceded,
so
frame.
unfortunately he doesn't
Ronnie
make the
O'Sullivan.
century. Break ends at 95. Well, that's a bit of a pity for everybody here, but nevertheless, with that break of 95, Ronnie O'Sullivan does level the match up. It's 2 frames all.
Keep the noise down, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it does count as a century. I think the pink made the century.
No, I think it's a foul, John. I think because the pink wasn't
because the pink
respotted.
wasn't respotted?
Yeah. I think that becomes 95.
Yeah, fair comment. What's he doing?
I don't really think that he cares that much.
Well, maybe Ronnie didn't realise. He'll be annoyed. He'll be annoyed because that was century 992, and I think he's now realising that. So you're saying because the pink wasn't respotted, because at the moment, yeah, I mean, there's no need for him to do that.
Yes, according to the rules, if you don't respot the ball, I think that's a foul. I wonder if we can just get another replay of that and hear what Brendan Moore, our referee in charge of the match, actually says there.
Yeah, what did the referee call? Top referee Brendan Moore, our top referee. We'll be quiet. Well, obviously, when he potted the pink, he'd have called 101. But then you're saying because the pink wasn't respotted, it had been a foul.
Yes, because the last shot in progress is still the pink before it's respotted, you see. The shot's still in progress. Until the pink's respotted, the shot's not complete.
Yeah, I can understand the point you're making. I think Ronnie was just thinking he'd made the 100 and wanted to get on with the next frame.
Well, our marker in charge of the match in front of me has just given me the thumbs up. That's Tatiana Wollaston. So I think she's suggesting that I am correct. For once in my life.
Well, it was a bit of a surprise what happened in that last frame. I've never seen
Thank
the
you,
likes.
frame 5.
But
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
I'm confirming, as Dominic said, that Tatiana Wollaston, who's on the scoreboard, she gave Dominic the thumbs up, that it was a 95 break in the last frame. It wasn't 101. It would have been if Ronnie had have given Brendan more time to respot the pink. There she is. I hope he's playing today. She'll be keeping an eye on that as well, I'm sure. One more look, here we go. But because he didn't give the referee a chance to respot the pink, it was a foul, and the break stayed at 95. And Ronnie should be kicking himself.
Rather adventurous shot choice there from Ronnie.
Another long pot that Ronnie went for, but a little bit lucky. Could have left something easier than this. There's a red, I say easier than this, because there's a red that can be dropped in the right middle, but it's a tough one. Of course, that's what we were talking about, Dominic, wasn't it? That's the encouragement for Sanderson, that the fact that he doesn't have to push the ball out, he just plays a couple of safeties, and he knows Ronnie is going to have a go at anything he can see. example. No thoughts of playing safety, and he's lucky if he's not left this red. And just a slight grimace, so maybe he's just a bit annoyed about what happened in the last frame. But still a red that he shouldn't have gone for.
Yes, he's in a particularly odd mood at the moment, Ronnie. I can't quite work him out, so goodness knows what's going to happen in the remainder of this match.
Well, that's not an outrageous shot. He was playing it thinking the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. And nearly did leave it, as it happens. Normally they rattle the jaws, run along the top cushion. Came back up the table. But yeah, it is really a case of what's going to happen next.
The two reds that are on into the right corner surely are too risky, but it looks as though he's going to take one of them on. Obviously the black must pot into the opposite corner. Oh, great shots, and the black obviously does go. That will restore some confidence for Sanderson Lamb. You know, John, I've never seen so many balls going off that bottom jaw in all my life.
No, they used to say if they flicked that near jaw that they wouldn't drop. But maybe that's why the middle pockets are a little bit nippier than normal. That won't go in.
Sanderson Lamb. 8.
Of course, we've got to remember that Sanderson has never sort of been in this situation before. I mean, things are happening in front of his very eyes. Well, there you go. Didn't have to wait long for the next chance, but situations that you wouldn't be used to, would he, in a normal game of snooker? But chances coming thick and fast. Now, can he avoid the kiss on the second red and control it for the black? He just flicked it. It's left him a bit low, but he may be able to get into this black, and he wants to try and avoid the loose red. And if he could kiss the red that's just up above that on the other side, he'd still be on this red. Needs to cue this nicely, though. The softer you hit these, more action you get on the cue ball. Well, he decided to play it firm. Now, has he been unlucky? I think there may be a red that's cuttable.
8.
He hit the red I thought he might want to avoid, but playing at that pace, he didn't give chance for the backspin to take effect.
Yeah, the top red of those two near the right centre cuts in, but these two control the cue ball well here.
9.
Probably not on the blue. We'll probably play the yellow in the end, I feel. But with that last black that he played, he really did open the reds up beautifully, so this is an excellent opportunity for Sanderson to take a 3 frames to 2 lead here if he can just mind his work. He is taking the blue on. was a nervy one.
Sanderson, Lamb.
He knew the importance of that. He knew that he'd be on his next red, and if he didn't pop the blue, would leave Ronnie in, and that's what's happened.
One.
Yeah, a lot of people forget. I mean, it's the fact you're getting in, you say, oh, play your own game. But when you know you've got someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan following you, you're under the pressure all the time, even when at the table in amongst the balls.
8.
And no matter how much you tell yourself, play your own game, do your own thing, it's very hard to do.
9. $40. $50. $22. $23. $30. $31.
Well, he was slightly out of position, but recovered it with that excellent red, and now it's back in
34.
business again. Can he make a century break this time?
35. $42. $43.
Well, I know we're discussing the shots he's played, but have you ever seen such a silky smooth action?
51.
I mean, it really is a delight to watch, isn't it, when he's in and around the black spot area. With no effort, just gets that movement on the ball.
58.
It's all about timing, of course.
$59.
So there's black and one more red.
$66. $67.
Sanderson's had a couple of good chances in this frame. He's only himself to blame. Now there is still a possible 100 on, but that blue's going to be the
74.
problem. Is he going to try and bring it into play now? Well, not yet.
75.
But that will be the problem between Ronnie and making a century. That's if he lets the referee put the ball back on the spot.
81. 82.
So if he could get a nice angle on the yellow here, he could pot the yellow and possibly bring the blue into play. That could be his thought. Well, if he'd have picked it up, put it with his hand, he could not have put
89.
it there any better. So just nudge the blue into play. Always made it worse.
91.
So he'll have to try and get it off the brown now. The nudge on the blue. If we're going to
94.
see... Well, we saw a century last time. It was the century that never was. Can he nudge the blue out? Well, we play a double here, a back double.
98.
So this blue for a century. It's there! It's there! Where's the cue ball going? It's all right! Now wait! Hang on, Ronnie.
103.
All right. And in goes the pink, so we did get a
109.
century off him. Well, for all we've been saying about the twos and throws and the shot selection, that was sublime from Ronnie O'Sullivan. And he now leads Sanderson Lamb by 3 frames to 2, one away from a place in the next round.
Keep the noise down, please. Thank you.
Good point for him to stride out of the arena a little bit more confidently and take a little break. That is what they came here for, Darren. And we do have century number 992. Do you want to rethink your prospects of getting to 1,000 centuries this week?
No, he's still 8 short of it.
Yeah, probably not. But in any case, that's more like it from Ronnie, isn't it?
Well, I think JV said it all then in the commentary. Then that was absolutely perfection. His cue action's always been great. And that blue, exhibition shot, the blue was there, and you just knew the way this match has gone so far, that blue was going to go in. It's had everything, haven't it?
It's just a tale of two blues there, really, wasn't it? Because Ronnie gets that for the century. But it was the missed blue by Sanderson which let Ronnie in. Yeah,
well, as Dominic said, he could have played the yellow, which was an easier shot than the blue, but you've seen his arm come across it, and he just, big shot that was for him. Obviously, Ronnie had the 100 from that missed blue, so that was a massive turning point in this match.
Pressure, tension, nerves, getting to him.
Well, the thing is, he hasn't won many matches. There's no substitute for confidence and winning matches. Ronnie, like all the top players, they win all the time and they win events. But for someone that's down the ranks, that's looking for their breakthrough or to get a string of a run of wins together, you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start with a win, and it's very hard for him to get that win. And this is a big occasion for Sanderson, and he's playing, arguably, if not the best, second best in the world at the minute.
Just 2 wins all season, as I think you mentioned earlier on. Where is Ronnie at the moment? He's got 3 ranking wins this season so far. Shanghai Masters, the UK Championship, and what did he get as well? He got the Champion of Champions. But, of course, he's lost to Judd Trump in 2 finals as well. He was suggesting there's a kind of maybe a changing of the guard slightly at the moment, but you can never write Ronnie off.
No, I don't think so. And, to win 3 tournaments this year already, and we still got a load of tournaments left, It's just, I said it from the word go. He might come in now if he wins the match and comes in with us, and he'll say everything's okay. But I definitely think he's been agitated, and that's the way he's played. Either that, or he's decided now he wants to enjoy the game a little bit more, and he's going to play Trump's brand of snooker, naughty snooker, and that's what he's doing. But this is unorthodox for him with the amount of shots that he's gone for.
He doesn't play in every competition, does he? We should point that out. He tends to pick and choose which events he takes part in. But back he comes then into the arena, and you wonder where things will go from here. Big frame for Sanderson Lamb then. 3-2 now, the lead for Ronnie.
Sanderson Lamb behind all of a sudden, 3 frames to 2, so needs to remain in the remaining 2 frames of this match to progress. He's just seen a bit of a barrage from Ronnie O'Sullivan, breaks of 95, and that incredible 116 break we just saw. But very difficult to weigh up what goes through Ronnie O'Sullivan's mind at times. Not so much now. I think this performance is the first time I've ever seen Ronnie look a little bit indifferent. And I've seen him for a very long time. But he's certainly... Well, some of the shots that he's played, it just tells you that his mind's not quite on the job here today, but in spite of that, he's still not in breaks of 52, 95 and 116. Not many players can do that.
One.
Well, this is an excellent chance for Sanderson here. Pot this red just above the black and cannon into the red
7.
just to the right of it. Be able to clear the black for both corner pockets in a couple of shots.
8.
And well, if we went to a decider, I'd suggest, Dominic, it's hold on to your hat time.
Oh yeah, it's a bit like that now though. quite sure what you're going to get from Ronnie at the moment. They're either going in or they're not, but well, he's just one more frame away. I do know, you know, speaking to Ronnie myself, as I have done many,
50.
many times, he doesn't like playing in tournaments where you've got the whole field here, the whole 128 of the professional snooker tour at the venue at the same time. He loves the tournaments that just have a smaller field of, say, 32 players. Maybe if you can just get through the first couple of matches, the field has been reduced to 32. You'll zone in a little more then, maybe.
$60.
Yes, and of course when you come to these tournaments with so many players, and I know they've got
23.
a few practice tables, but it's hard to get time on those tables. I could be a
24.
little bit cynical and say, well, in my day we never even had a practice table, you know, so... But if you're used to going to the venue and having a practice on the table, then, you know, it is a bit of a bun fight out there.
Yes, I tried to book my practice for my second round
31.
encounter with John Higgins, which will be tomorrow at some point. And the only thing I had available were a couple of tables available late this evening. Everything else was fully booked throughout the day. But there are many, many occasions where players don't turn up for their session, so you just hang around the practice table. There's quite often a table free at some point.
And that was
Sanderson Lamb.
a risky
31.
red to take on, but that's the nature of the game. It's been free-flowing open. Sanderson has not had much chance to play much safety, in all honesty. Nicely floated in that brown from Ronnie. Just a little bit too far for perfect position on the blue, but he can leave himself a mid-range red. Got to cue these nicely though.
6.
Don't want to thrash at this, you want to cue it smooth, which he did.
7.
Nothing wrong with the way he's cueing.
No, I think for the most part of this match, you'd say Ronnie
14.
O'Sullivan was a little bit vulnerable today, and Sanderson not in quite so many opportunities. Could have won this match, and still
50.
may, you never know, but in spite of all of that, Ronnie has still managed to provide us with a great deal of entertainment. Those two tremendous breaks he made in the last two frames.
20.
And that's hard to do when your mind's all over the place, and I'm sure Ronnie's is. To still knock them in and make their breaks. Where's this cue ball? It's in the middle
Wow.
pocket. Would you believe it? How many times does that
O'Sullivan,
happen?
20.
You screw off the bunch of reds.
Sanderson Lamb 4.
You know the cue ball's going to go towards the middle pocket. Unfortunately, on that occasion, it went in. So reprieve for Sanderson Lamb. Still 15 points ahead, so ball's in his court at the moment. He can cut this red in.
Just starting to miss now though, isn't he? He's just starting to miss. Looks up to the skies, but he knows he can't afford to miss those opportunities. But as we say, it's not as if Ronnie's playing bad. Ronnie's just playing a very unorthodox game, which may have thrown him a little bit. But it's not going to be easy, even for Ronnie, to win the
8.
frame at this visit. Few awkward reds to go at. It does help, of course, that you can play left and right-handed. So now just 2 points behind.
13. 14.
But now the hard work begins. Just just overscrewed that slightly, but
20.
he's a fit lad, he's Ronnie.
21.
Played it nicely. Not inch perfect on this black. And he's come a little bit twixt in between.
28.
No, and he was in an effort to avoid
Ronnie
being off
O'Sullivan.
in the corner.
28.
Took his eye off the pot. Need a little bit more thought and consideration, that, for me.
Yeah, I thought in the end he'd probably play the red down the cushion left-handedly. Screw back for the blue. Well, this frame really is in the balance, just 13 points between the players. Sanderson with an opportunity there to play a really good telling safety shot. This was the red that Ronnie missed, overcut it. And as you say, John, probably tried to avoid the corner pocket with the cue ball.
Foul on this.
Fractions away.
Yeah. Bit fortunate, Sanderson, when he caught the brown.
Sanderson Lamb.
If he hadn't have done it, he wouldn't have got the snooker. No reason not to have it replaced.
Tatiana. Good, just to check.
Yeah, it's one of these. Because Ronnie's had one go at this, he'd like that cue ball to be back exactly where it was before, so he can make that minor
Coach,
adjustment.
what, sorry?
Getting
Yep.
a thumbs up from Tatiana.
Sanderson? Thank you.
That's where it was, and that's where it is now. Do for me. Get a thumbs up from us. Well, in the end, it was a hit and hope. You don't see that often from Ronnie. Which side of the bed do you think he got out this morning?
The wrong one. If there was a bed. I just had a feeling Johnny'd have a thrash out at that. I don't know. He hates the miss rule, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Oh, that was a great pot from Sanderson. There was pressure on that. The speed that he played it would have hung around the pocket jaws had he missed it. But now the work really begins for him. Can he take us into a deciding frame? All about this red, you feel. Oh, he's a touch straighter on it than he'd like to have been, I feel.
4.
May play for the yellow now into the opposite centre pocket.
Just 3 points in it. He's behind. Oh, and that was a terrific pot. Made the angle.
5.
And if he pots this yellow, it'd make the points all square. And that would mean, when the yellow's respotted, yellow, green, brown and blue. And we will have a decider.
Seven. Nine.
I'm sure Sanderson now will be pretty nervous. Watching these next 3 balls. Big occasion for him. Not many players can contest matches with Ronnie these days. Only the very top players tend to do so. There you see it, 5 ahead, just brown and blue required. This isn't ideal. He's missed it. He's missed it. Oh, would you believe it?
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a bad shot on the green, wasn't it? Just a little bit of tension in the arm, and as you say, it wasn't ideal on the brown. So Ronnie comes to the table, needs brown, blue and pink.
Four.
Well, it was a lovely little kiss that Ronnie had there from brown to blue.
9.
Just the pink required. And in it goes. Well, have to give great credit to Sam.